Hello everyone. I hope you have completed everything as per the last video. So your Pacman is now eating the dots. There is a scoring mechanism and the Pacman needs to save itself from the phantoms as well. We had also created the lives. Wow, looks exciting, but there is many more things to be implemented. Many more enhancements. So in this video, we are going to work on rewards. Rewards, what are rewards in Pacman game? The cherry. If the Pacman is able to take the cherry, it gets the reward points. So let's get started. Let me show you what do I mean by reward points. So here there is this cherry and the Pacman is supposed to get the cherry. If the Pacman gets the cherry, it gets some additional points. As soon as the Pacman is getting the cherry moves to some other position. So one more thing you will notice, the Pacman has actually not taken the cherry, but is still in this case, the cherry moves to another position because after every 10 seconds, the cherry moves to another position, irrespective of if it is taken by Pacman or not. So this makes this game a little more interesting because the Pacman needs to chase the cherries as well to get more reward points. So let's get started. So this is where we were as per the last video. We have these phantoms, we have the Pacman, we have the scores, and we have also implemented the lives. Next come the cherry part. So let's go to animation and of course get a cherry. You can get it from here, but if you really want to draw it, it is one of your area of interest, you can actually draw it. So I'm picking this cherry. Okay, looks good. We'll go back and first step will, of course, I will have to start creating a cherry sprite. So I can probably put it anywhere outside draw function. So, and to begin with, I will create this at a random position. So the random position could be anywhere between 10 to 390. Same for y coordinates as well. So when the cherry is created, it will be created at a random position between 10 to 390 of x position and y position. Why so? So that every time the cherry is being created at a different location. We will give it the animation. Let's see. I'm definitely sure that we will have to resize. Yes, we need to resize. So let me resize it. 0.1 because the size is very big. So let me see if 0.1 is good enough. This is also actually very good. So very big. So I will make it maybe 0.05. We want a tiny cherry. Yes, this is the tiny cherry and good enough. So next we should implement when this Pacman is touching cherry. What should happen when the Pacman is touching cherry? What should happen? The cherry should move to some other position and Pacman should gain some score. So let's start writing this code. Definitely it has to be inside draw function. So make sure this code you are writing inside your draw function. So this is my draw function, as you can see. So I will start writing if Pacman dot is touching what cherries, what do we want to do? We want to add on some scores. So for example, if you want to add on 50 points for cherry, so the score will be increased by 50 and cherry will move to a different position. So to move cherry to a different position, it could be a good idea to write a function. Why? Because cherry needs to move to a different position 2 times. First time when the Pacman is touching the cherries and second time after every 10 seconds. So if we want to avoid writing the same piece of code again and again, we can create a function. So outside this draw function, I am going to create a function which will be move cherry. Cherries.x is equals to a random number again between 10 to 390. Why I always make it 10 to 390? Because I do not want that my cherry should be at the extreme corner, and it is half visible and half not visible, half going outside the canvas. So I make it between 10 to 390. And this function we will call here. Move cherry. This is how we call a function. So let me reset and run and see if it is working fine or not. Yes, so as soon as this Pacman gets the cherry is moving to a different place. And we are gaining 50 points, okay? What next? Next, even if the Pacman is not getting the cherry, it is maybe trying to get nearer to the cherry, we should keep changing its position after every 10 seconds. So what is the meaning of after every 10 seconds? In Game Lab, how do we define every 10 seconds, or how do we know how many seconds are gone? So we will put this condition world dot seconds. What is this world dot second? This world dot second tell how many seconds have been completed since this game is started, okay, or since this program is started. So we will see if this word dot second is a multiple of say 300. If it is a multiple of 300, so how do we know if it is a multiple of 300? This percentage operator. This percentage operator is actually called modulus. What is the meaning of modulus? Modulus means if you are dividing world dot second by 300, the remainder should be 0. It means it should be perfectly divisible by 300. Means at 300 seconds, I think 300 seconds is too much. I should make it 10 seconds. Okay. So after every 10 seconds, at 10 second and then 20 second, 30 second, 40 second, 50 second, 60 second, after every 10 second, multiple of 10 seconds, it will move the cherry to a different location. So because now I already have a function, I will just have to call this function. So simple. That is why we should always make functions whenever it is possible. Okay, so let's test it. I'm not going to get this cherry this time because I want that after 10 seconds, it should move to a different position. See, so what is happening? It moves to a different position, but it also, jumping here and there. Why it is happening so? It is happening so because we know in 1 second, the frame changes 30 times. So actually in 1 second, 30 times this condition is becoming true, that word dot second is actually 10 seconds. So instead of word dot seconds, it will be a good idea to use frames. Okay, so if word dot frame count, here we can say multiple of maybe 300, which will be roughly 10 seconds. So if it is word dot frame count is a multiple of 300, we want to move the cherry. Let's see if it makes it better. Instead of using seconds, when we are using frame count, is it making it better? Okay, this time Pacman had actually taken the cherry. So now next time the Pacman should actually not take the cherry. And we will see if it is moving to some different position or not. Yes, it moves to a different position after every 10 seconds. So good, we have implemented the cherry flavor to our game. What next? Oh, one more thing, when I was playing this game, one of the phantom actually moved out of this area. And when it moved out of this area, it actually moved out of the entire canvas and it never came back. So I am thinking the way we have implemented that if this Pacman is moving out of this door, it should enter immediately from this door. Okay. Same way we should implement for all the phantoms as well. So let me show you how we have implemented this for Pacman. We have already implemented this. If I go down, you will see you will see this piece of code. If pacman.x is greater than 400, we are making it 0 so that, it goes to this position. And when it is less than 0, we make it 400 so that it goes to this position. So now I'm thinking, because we need to implement this for all the 4 phantoms as well, let's write a function for it. So I will write a function for it, something like this. Let me copy paste this code, or basically cut this code and make a function. I will give the name to the function as loop me. Okay, and we are taking the sprite named me. Now this me could be any sprite. It could be my Phantom 1, Phantom 2, Phantom 3, Phantom 4, or my Pacman. So basically, we are passing a parameter, which is the sprite. And whatever code we write here now, it will not be on Pacman or Phantom 1, 2, 3, or 4. The code will be on me. And from where we will get the value of me? Me will be passed as a function parameter. So this function is ready, loop me, which is taking one parameter. We will again go up, and here we will call the function loop me. First, we will call this function for Pacman. Then we will call this function for all the 4 phantoms as well. So P1, P2, P3, and P4. And P4. So let's test it if it is working fine or not. For phantoms, we can't test it because phantoms will move as per their will. But yes, definitely I can test it for Pacman. And if it is working for Pacman, it should work for the phantoms as well. So yes, it is working for the Pacman. And I assume that it should work for the phantoms as well. What next? What next? If you have ever played the actual Pacman game, you must have seen some big dots. Something like this. These big dots. So what does this big dots do? These big dots give some special power to the Pacman for some time, maybe for 10 seconds. And between that 10 seconds, the Pacman need not to worry from the phantoms. And in fact, if it is touching the phantom, it gets some more points. Yes, stay tuned. The game is still not over. We are going to add one more enhancement where my Pacman will run in the power mode when it touches the big dots. Stay tuned and complete it in the next video. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.